How many people in total are involved in the making of Kaleidoscope Man?
Now that's a great question, Ian, and thank you. Ian's been a really top chap, everybody, by the way. He shoots all of our background videos that you see, all the behind the scenes stuff, and he's done our sound, and he's a top geezer. So, but how many people have been involved? Well, actually, you know, I sat down and thought about this yesterday afternoon, and I was quite amazed, actually. Physically, in terms of people physically doing things, as in putting money in, you know, helping on the shoot, anything like that, it's over 600 people, which is a staggering amount. But then you've got all the other people that have been sharing it on Twitter and Facebook and just really been proactive and helping. And I would say there are hundreds of people actually that have done that they haven't necessarily put any money in, but they've still helped to sort of spread the word. So a lot of people, you know, and I have to say it's overwhelming, really.
You've had a number of successful mini campaigns along your crowdfunding route, but you've missed your targets on a couple of occasions. If that's the case, what changes are you making to allow for the shortfall?
Hi Steve, that's a really, really good question you've given me there. Since starting this, I've done 5 campaigns now, and 3 of those with Kickstarter, and 2 of those have failed. And when you fail on Kickstarter, when you don't hit your target, you lose everything. And I'll tell you, it really hurts. And what it does ultimately is it just puts you behind. So that's why I've gone with Indiegogo. If we don't hit our target, we still pretty much get what we've raised, so we can carry on with the film. And last time, you know, we set the bar at £25,000. We made 7, and then Indiegogo took their chunk. So we walked away with about 6,500. And you know, basically, I've just decided whatever I raise, I'm going to keep shooting. You know, and to be honest, I shot a lot more than I was expecting with that money. I didn't shoot quite as much as I would have liked. And also, we've had this alien pod built, which you're going to see very soon. But you know, I just think you've got to keep going. And I'm trying to be really open and honest with everybody. You know, it doesn't matter if we don't hit our targets. Of course, I'd love to hit our targets, because if I'd hit the £25,000 mark, we could still be shooting. I'd have much more than 35% of the film in the can. So, you know, that's the way it goes. We just got to keep going. And I managed to get some of the locations a bit cheaper than I was expecting. So that saved a bit of cash. So yes, but the thing is, I'm going to keep going, keep pushing on, and hope for the best, really.
You are starting a new crowdfunding campaign on Indiegogo in May. What have you learned from your previous campaigns in terms of what worked and what did not work?
Yes, we're starting a new campaign on the 9th of May. What have I learned? Oh, it's such a learning curve. And you know what? I don't think there's anything I don't think you can say, yeah, this works, that works. You know what? I saw a video the other day that said it's the green bar effect. People go and look at your campaign and they see where the green bar is, and if it's doing quite well in relation to what time you are, then people are more likely to come on board. One thing I feel is you've got to keep talking throughout the campaign and building up to it, but you don't want to keep talking about the same thing. So I'm really lucky. I've had all this artwork done. I've got lots of different videos to put out. Lots of behind the scenes videos. We're going to do trailers and things. So I want to keep it going, but at the same time, I don't want to give away the whole film. So it's finding a balance. So that that I think works. One thing is setting your level too high. I've done it twice now. In fact, I'm about to do it a 3rd time. But I need to be honest about what we need to make the film. £25,000 is, whoa, man, it's a lot of money to ask for. But I think I've got to reach for the stars, you know, got to do it. The film costs what it costs, and as much as I can keep it down, I don't want to compromise it too much. I would like those dolly shots and those crane shots, you know, and those night shots as well. So, you know, we're doing what we've got to do. What have I learned? I have learned so much. Well, I suppose the one big thing I've learned is there are some amazing people out there really willing to, you know, to back the person. Because I don't know how much I don't know how many people really back Simon's project, or if they're backing Simon. And I think it's the first one actually. I think people are backing me. Sorry, the second one. I think people are backing me because, you know, I haven't fulfilled all the perks that I promised. And by the way, I will be fulfilling those. All the people that are going to be in pods and the people that are going to be, you know, have their image in the film for a frame. But nobody's hassled me about it. And it's more about how you get on with the film. That's more the questions I'm getting. So I tend to think people look down at your perks list and they're not that bothered. They know roughly how much they want to give you, and they, you know, and if they get the DVD or they get a poster or something, then that's the benefit. But I just think people literally want to stick their hands in their pockets and help. And I must admit, the campaigns that I've backed, I'm kind of the same. I know roughly how much I'm prepared to give, and I'll do that. And I think, you know, I get a bit annoyed actually when you see it. You know, the first perk is £20 and the next one's £100. It's like, well, what if I wanted to come in at 30 or 40? And £100 is too much, but then I can give you more than 20. So anyway, I've learnt loads.
If other indie filmmakers or young filmmakers came to you for advice, what would you tell them about the level of work required and the possible sacrifices required in the process?
My advice to young and other filmmakers, well, nowadays we can make films a lot easier than we used to be able to. So I would say the wise thing to do, there's a famous saying in Hollywood actually, it was for the low budget movie, it's you get 5 kids, you stick them in a house and you chop them up. And that basically is how you make your own little independent movie. And that is a sort of formula that I'd really recommend to somebody starting out, especially if they're trying to make a feature film. Keep it simple, keep your locations simple, do everything that I'm not doing actually with Kaleidoscope Man, and keep going. But get your script right, or at least get your story right. Minimal dialogue, keep it visual, have fun. The film industry is tough, and the tough part is, especially in the UK, is how to fund yourself. You know, how do you pay your mortgage? How do you pay your rent? Because, you know, when you're young and you live at home, you can do what you like. Once you start getting mortgages and having families and that, it gets very tricky. But you'll know fairly quickly if your heart's really in it. And I made a decision, I think I was about 28. I made a decision that I was in this for life. And my passion for this for making films was just too strong, and I had to do it. And if you're like me, if you've got that thing, you'll make it work, whatever. So, but you know, the other thing I would say to new filmmakers is shoot stuff, edit it, shoot it, edit it, learn how to edit, learn how to cut things together, learn how to cut things down. Not necessarily cut things out, but just cut them down. Tell your story visually. Don't rely too much on dialogue. Go for visuals. That is what will make you a great filmmaker. So much advice. Crowdfunding is a great way to fund your productions. This is for new filmmakers, but don't blow it. Don't blow it just because you can. Get the right story. Get the story you feel passionate about, and you really feel you want to make it, you need to make it. That's the one you want to crowdfund, not the let's just make a film because we can. That's not a reason to go out and get crowdfunding, because if you shoot yourself if you burn your bridges early on, then it's going to be very difficult to keep your credibility up. And you know, people are quick. And also, for God's sake, make sure you make a good film that you can project on a big screen and you can invite everybody to come and see it, and you're proud of it. And they will go, actually, that was pretty good. I'm glad I backed that guy, rather than, what did I give him money for? Because it's hard to go back. Anyway, hopefully you won't be saying the same to me. We'll see.
I just want to know when I can see this movie of yours. The suspense is killing me.
Well, Darth intern, I've saved your question till last. You're going to have to wait a year, buddy, or a year and a bit. But I tell you what, it's going to be worth it. It's going to be a fantastic movie. It's going to It's going to touch, move and inspire, and it's just going to be a great experience. And I can tell you that because I spent 10 years on the script, and it's going to be really good. Anyway, thank you for all those questions. I hope I've answered them. Feel free to send me a load more, and I hope you're still awake by the end of this video. All right, guys, thanks a lot, and I'll see you soon.